So the two-wall boast is an incredibly effective shot on the squash court. It can be used in multiple situations. It's great when it's really hot and bouncy, you're struggling to take the ball in short with a drop shot. You can drag your opponent into space. It's a brilliant working ball for taking your opponent up into the front corners, creating space on the court. But also, it's a brilliant outright winner when it's played correctly. You can just whip that ball in, take the ball to the front and leave your opponent stranded nowhere near the shot. Now, it's a less risky shot than the three-wall boast, because the three-wall boast brings the sidewall into play and the ball can have a tendency to sit up and give your opponent a shot or give your opponent the opportunity to attack your next ball. Whereas the two-wall boast, you give yourself a little bit more margin for error. You're forcing your opponent to deal with the ball out in front of them. You're forcing them to get into awkward positions and you're giving yourself the opportunity to jump on a next ball when it's played correctly. So, for the purpose of this video, we're going to break the two-wall boast down into two different types of shot, the outright winner and then the working boast. So in terms of an outright winner, we're thinking about hitting the space where your opponent isn't. Now you'll see these examples. Sometimes it's about just playing the ball quickly, or sometimes it's just about catching your opponent by surprise. Generally, when we're hitting the two-wall boast, we're going to be thinking about setting up the same as for a drive. So we're going to be thinking about showing your opponent we've got the ability to hit a drive and then executing the shot quickly and effectively and stunning the ball in using a short follow through. So we're not going to go into the technique of the shot, we'll go into that in a different video. But from a tactical standpoint, we're really thinking about ripping that ball in quickly and catching your opponent unawares. Generally, we're going to be playing it from the back of the court, somewhere up towards the tee, but not much further. Generally, you're getting into triple boast territory when you go towards the front, but you're looking to catch your opponent off guard by hitting the ball into that space. We really want to be thinking about what the ball is doing at the front of the court. So invariably, we're going to want to put spin on the ball, on both the backhand and the forehand. As a result of putting spin and revolutions on the ball, it grips and it bites and it stays short, so it will catch the wall at the front, it will catch the floor and it will stay short. So we're looking to get the ball ending up somewhere around the edge of the service box lines if they were running all the way to the front of the court. We're looking to make life difficult for our opponents and get them fending up in front of them. We don't want the ball obviously hitting the sidewall and we don't want to let them get into a good body position. If we're forcing them into that position there with the ball out in front of them, it's quite likely they're going to have to hit underneath the ball and hit the ball up onto the cross court. So you'll see in these clips here how often a good boast, particularly the backhand side, can force somebody just to hit a weak cross court, which gives plenty of opportunity to attack the open space down the forehand side, whether it be with a short ball or a deep ball to the back. So that good working boast creates space, it drags your opponent a long way up into a corner, creating lots of opportunity at the back of the court. When we're playing the working boast, we really are thinking about making life tough for our opponent, but you need to be thinking about what is that next shot, what's the next opportunity, and where is the space on the court. Obviously, with the out-and-out winner, you're hopefully not having to think about that at all, because it should be a winner when executed properly. You've set up in the same way as the drive, and that ball's gone. But when you're thinking about the two-wall working boast, be very aware where the space is on the court. Be aware of where you're trying to leave the ball, what you need to do with the strings and the racket face to put that cut and bite on the ball to leave it short. Both absolutely fantastic shots, particularly on a hot court. If you're struggling, as I said, if you're struggling to leave the ball short with the drop shot, the boast can be an easy out for you to work the ball into space and start dragging your opponent, moving your opponent around the court. So the two-wall boast, a fantastic shot, definitely something to add to your repertoire.